Discussion about the sale of 55 West Madison Street, the old City Hall. Felt it was time to bring this back to the council because the 60 days is about to run out on the current offer. The current offer is from Ernie Gutting. If you remember, it was $191,000.
As far as selling the building myself, I still think it's a good idea to look at consolidating some of our nonprofits. And I know that's been kicked around. That's why I gave you that handout there. And the question is, how do you pay for it? And I know that Franklin Heritage, I've had conversation with them, and they could help with getting it on the historical register. There's grants available for that. I've had contact with Human Services, who's they've even said they would like to rent the whole top floor. Drug-free Johnson County, they're willing to rent some space. Franklin Heritage, I know, is interested. Discover Downtown's interested. There's been one board member from the Chamber of Commerce that's just one board member has contacted me and said they would like to listen to what kind of plan we would have to consolidate the nonprofits. And they also have some money to put into the building.
And I think we have a good chance of, combining our nonprofits under one roof right now. We own the building outright. Yes, there's maintenance costs just like in anything that you own. But if we have nonprofits in there, we'll be generating some kind of rent from them. That rent that we save could be used for the repair and upkeep of the building. So it makes sense to me. I mean, it just makes sense to me that when I look at the history of Franklin, being from Boston, born and raised there, historic features are very important to any town or any city. It's something that, that you look back on over the years, generations after us. We didn't blink at all with the art crowd because we know the importance of downtown. Those of you guys that grew up here as kids, remember fond memories of the art crowd. And, I've been here since January '97. I have fond memories of that. I was very happy to see us, throw about I shouldn't say throw, but, invest about $200,000 plus into that. I think even if it does cost us $500, I'm sure we can whittle that number down. I think it's important to our city's history to maintain that building, to keep that building under city control at this time. And I'd like to see us, just halt the sale, maybe get something together so we can try to figure out the nonprofits where they go, figure out, fair amount of rent to charge, and then we can figure out how to, put the building back together as needed. So that's what I feel on that. Well, before I close, Mayor, you said something in your State of the City address that's right on target. Franklin has what other cities are trying to recreate. And I don't want to lose that piece of our history right there by getting rid of that building.
Community, I was a member of the steering committee back in 2002. Not going to get into all the meat and potatoes, what the comprehensive plan states, but we use it, should be used as a vision statement, guide for the future, and I think that building is a gem in the rough. I think, in that comprehensive plan, it talks about historic Franklin time and time again, and preserving Franklin's history, and also preserving the historically significant assets, and I feel that this building is an asset. So I'm with the guys over here to my left, that the building's paid for. I think everyone on this council, minus Mr. Barnett, was on the council at the time where we took $250,000 and we had budgeted to fix that building because the inside, needs help, and some of the other features need help as well. But I know we talked about a visitor center, helping other nonprofits, consolidating them. Mayor, actually, this is something that you've been talking about, and I think that by doing this, it's just really an approval of your process. So, since the flood, we've consolidated government, and I just think this would be a great way to finalize that consolidation. I think it's a smart move. I think, I'm not going to steal the thunder of the folks would discover downtown, historic preservation, et cetera, et cetera. I just think that this is the last building that we have in this town that we own first and foremost and paid for, and that it's a beautifully architected building. I think that the money that we can put into that building is going to come back to us, 2- and 3-fold. So it's my opinion that we would keep the building and move forward with trying to find some consolidation with your help, Mayor, and your guidance of putting the nonprofits together and heading down that path.
Anybody else?
Yes, I'm in substantial agreement. This building is one of the really nice buildings left in Franklin that has been substantially not altered. I would hate to see us let it go and become something that is not in keeping with the spirit of that type of architecture. I'm relatively confident that we can come up with uses for it that will allow it to stay in more or less pristine condition, still be usable and functional, and something that the city can be proud of.
Mayor, I had been in favor of selling it, but listening to what has been presented, and I had attributed some of this earlier, I'd like to see some real concrete proposals come forward and look at it rather than rush into selling it now, and see if we couldn't find the ability to preserve the building, keep it in its state so that we can call it a historical building, not modify the outside, and see what we could do to facilitate the work of nonprofit groups and what kind of income we can have and what the projected expenses would be.
It sounds like obviously that it should probably be a no vote. I think we should take the vote. I will say that two comments I'll make and then I'm going to drop it. Number one, just because you sell this building to somebody else doesn't mean it's not a historical building. It doesn't mean that it's going to be tore down. But I'm okay if you guys, I wish we'd made this decision a year and a half ago to keep it, but instead of going through all the process. But I think the interesting thing is going to be where you're going to get, if the nonprofits can come up with a plan how they can fund it and pay the utilities and maintenance and stuff on it, I think that's fine. But I think ultimately they need to own the building. I don't personally think that we should be in the lease business of leasing buildings, but if you guys make that decision that we should maintain ownership and put our funds into it, I guess you can make that decision, but it seems a little strange that we want to get into the lease rental business of buildings. But the council can make that decision, and I would suggest that, not I put that plan together, I would suggest that you and the nonprofits put it together as a group. And not that I'm not going to work against it, I'll help where I can. But if there's going to be a plan, so let's take the vote so we can say no, so you guys can, so we can get on with this and try to do something constructive with it.
I would just like to add one small thing, Mayor. You said a year and a half ago, or whatever you wish we had done that. I remember last June, we tried to talk to somebody about that, and we was told we didn't want to hear it. So we did try to go forward with that. So.
No, I don't remember that. Would somebody like to make a motion to turn down the sale?
Before we take a vote, I would like to invite the community to, if anyone has anything to say,
Yeah.
now is the time to say it.
I think it is a very significant structure. I don't think most folks have seen its actual potential because there were originally skylights in there that have been painted over. Some of that stuff can be opened up and used. So it is a very significant structure in the city of Franklin itself. And the main thing is that we can help with the with getting it on the register. We can help with putting some grants together so that the exterior is restored. And I think it would be a great thing that we can do.